More than any other genre, you could argue that when it comes to rap music, this style was absolutely built the most by the legends that helped start the genre. Especially when you consider that these are the musicians that had to take a genre that was very much feared and hated, and through force of song and strength of music and lyrics, had to push their music to the mainstream. One of the main people who was a part of this is the man known as Dr. Dre. Both in front of and behind the mic, he was a man who did it all, and is still influencing rap to this day. Allow us to show you Dr. Dre, then and now. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The Early Days of Dre. Long before he was Dr. Dre, he was Andre Romell Young, a young kid from Compton, California, and many of you out there know the significance of that hometown on his career. Not unlike many rappers out there, his childhood wasn't an easy one. His family was poor, his parents split up, and his mom remarried multiple times, giving him lots of siblings. He himself was moved out of schools and homes often for various reasons, and Dre himself admits that he was mostly raised by his grandmother over his parents. He had a lot of different interests in his school years, including being a part of a dive team, trying to work in aviation, and eventually falling into music, where he dropped out of school to go and perform at a local nightclub. His mother wasn't the most supportive of him, but he kept pushing forward anyway. The world-class Wrecking Crew. Inspired by the Grandmaster Flash song, The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel, Dr. Dre often attended a club called Eve After Dark to watch many DJs and rappers performing live. He subsequently became a DJ in the club. It was at that club that he would meet a man he would work with very soon, Antoine Carabee. Furthermore, it was at that place where he went and got himself the name that would change his life forever, Dr. Dre, even adding that he was a master of mixology. Teaming up with Carabee, who would be later known as DJ Yella, they used the nightclub studio to go and record some demos. This eventually led to the two becoming part of the world-class Wrecking Crew, where their first song, Surgery, which featured Dr. Dre mainly as a DJ over a singer, was a hit in the Compton area, and it helped elevate the two to some fame in various ways. But this wasn't the group that they were going to get famous with. Rather, they had to meet some key people before taking the next step in their fame. They had to become NWA. The year was 1986, and it was then that Dre would go and meet a man named O'Shea Jackson. You know him as Ice Cube. They teamed up to do some tracks for a label known as Ruthless Records, which was run by another key figure in their lives via Eazy-E. Combining their skills, they formed NWA and helped bring in a new kind of music to the world: gangsta rap. NWA favored themes and uncompromising lyrics, offering stark descriptions of violent inner-city streets. Propelled by the hit Fuck the Police, the group's first full album, Straight Outta Compton, became a major success, despite an almost complete absence of radio airplay or major concert tours. The Federal Bureau of Investigation sent Ruthless Records a warning letter in response to the song's content. Do you think they cared about that? Nope. They kept going and made a movement that couldn't be ignored. The only irony was that despite the power that the group had together, they were going to dissolve from within. Going solo. The first to leave NWA was Ice Cube in 1989. The group held on with Dre until about 1991, when he decided to leave due to issues with Eazy-E. It was then that he felt was the perfect time to go solo and make his own name with his own words and beats. After some contract work, he signed on with the infamous Suge Knight and Death Row Records, and by 1992, he released his first debut album in The Chronic. With that, this ushered in a new style of rap, both in terms of musical style and lyrical content, including introducing a number of artists to the industry, including Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, Daz Dillinger, RBX, The Lady of Rage, Nate Dogg, and Jewel. His success went beyond inspiration though. Not only were his albums and songs hits, he was getting appreciation from the mainstream, even being labeled as one of the best-selling artists of the year. Just as important though, his skills at producing music and talent was put to good use as he helped other rappers like Snoop Dogg and Tupac grow their own tracks and styles to be better than what they could have done on their own. Something that would lead to a definitive moment in his life. Aftermath Entertainment, and Eminem. After a while, Dre left Death Row Records and started up his own company in Aftermath Entertainment. Despite his fame and name, he struggled early on, especially after a certain release bombed on him. But then, one of his label partners at Interscope Records told him about a young and brash rapper named Eminem, and after one listen to his tracks, he told that partner to go and find him and bring him in. That's right, it was because of Dr. Dre that Slim Shady got his true shot. Eminem, by his own admission, was struggling on his own, but Dre took him in, harnessed his power and music, and so when the Slim Shady LP came out and sold millions, it proved that Dre not only knew what he was doing, but that his brand was viable, and it was only going to grow from there. Because after that rebirth, Dre got back into making his own music, and in 2001, he proved he still had a lot to give to the rap world at large. He also kept bringing in bright young talent, like a young 50 Cent, and helped create one of the most recognizable rap albums ever in Get Rich or Die Tryin'. Eventually, Dr. Dre would stop making his own music and instead focus on developing new talent and helping those under his banner. But he did have another major thing he wanted to do. Beats by Dre. You never know what you're going to do and accomplish until you try it. And for Dre, an accomplished DJ, it honestly made sense that he would go and try to do his own headphone line. But not only did he want to do it, he wanted to do it where it would be as good as Apple. A bold claim, but one he was willing to try and achieve. It started slow, and there were some luck factors involved, like LeBron James wearing one of Dre's headsets to the Olympic Games. But eventually, the brand grew, even getting a deal with HP to make a special combination computer and headset combo. But the big break he wanted came when Apple decided to go and buy Beats by Dre for $3 billion. Yeah, they did that. That made him the richest man in hip-hop, making him worth over $1 billion. And he got to be an executive at Apple. So yeah, his dream of making it as good as Apple absolutely came true. Shows you why you should never doubt Dre. The Legacy of Dre. When you consider all that Dr. Dre has brought to the world of rap, the idea of pinning down a single thing to tie his legacy to is kind of odd. Because after all, he's done a lot for the world of rap. He was one of the pioneers of gangster rap alongside the NWA. He was a rapper who helped create and produce a lot of big-name talent like Eminem, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, and more. His name and presence as a rap mogul can't be denied. And of course, he proved that rappers can become billionaires and successful businessmen because of Beats by Dre. He's been honored countless times over the years, including having part of his life story told via the successful movie Straight Outta Compton, a biopic about the rise of the NWA. Dre is also a well-known philanthropist and has helped his hometown of Compton in various ways, including making a performance arts school for them. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that Dr. Dre is a true and respected legend of rap. There is never gonna be another quite like him, and that might honestly be okay, because Dre is truly one of a kind. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the man who is Dr. Dre, and how he helped change the game as part of a group, on his own, as a producer, as a mogul, and beyond? Did you not realize before how much Dr. Dre went and helped shape the world of rap music? What do you personally think is his crowning achievement in the genre? And how much more does he honestly have to give? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.